Today, I bring you another Nissan Fairlady since the amazing legendary 300ZX. I bring you the 2003 Nissan 350Z Fairlady, and it is one of the coolest sports cars ever made from the 2000s. This is the third car from Nissan and the third Fairlady I'm reviewing in this channel. If you've been watching and supporting my channel for almost a year now, I did the review on a couple other Fairladys several months back, so go check them out if you've never seen them yet after this video. Especially the 300ZX, because that car was pretty interesting. This review of the 350Z Fairlady will also be just as interesting as its predecessor, and also brought the returning of the Z for the early mid-2000s. The 350Z is for sure stylish, affordable, and very reliable sports car, but back when this came out, it was an incredible monster with decent amount of power, a simple sports car at low price, and undoubtedly defined as one of the best Japanese sports cars ever made to roll out when it was new. So here are essential fun facts about what makes the Nissan 350Z an excellent sports car for what it is and should you get it. Before the 350Z was even born into production, this originally wasn't supposed to happen. In the late 1990s, the 300ZX Fairlady already been in production for that whole decade. Unfortunately, sales dwindled each year as the car prices increased and became too expensive to sell in the US market, so customers refused to buy them. Nissan withdrawing selling 300ZXs to the US after 1996 and continued to be sold to Japan until 1999. They knew that it was time to create the successor, so Nissan planned to renew the 240Z name as a concept car and launch at the 1999 Detroit Auto Show. It was clearly a throwback to the original Fairlady of the car design, a bright orange coupe with classic swept back styling in early phases of the actual 350Z. But Yoshihiko Matsuo, the designer of the legendary original Datsun 240Z, disliked how it looked, and so did the audience. The concept featured the 2.4-liter inline-4 engine from the Nissan 240SX sports car, only producing 200 brake horsepower and 180 pound-feet of torque. Unfortunately, when planning to use that engine just wasn't good enough to be used in its successor. So instead, Nissan scrap-built the VQ35 3.5-liter V6 engine and managed to strengthen the reliability over the 300ZX. Then when the 2001 Z concept came out, the Z fans adored it much better than the ugly first concept, and people instantly pulled out their wallets. In the summer of 2002, the real 350Z was born and officially debuted at the Detroit Auto Show and marks the 5th generation of the Z. First sold in Japan and then sold in North America as the 2003 model year. The painted bright Le Mans sunset, long hood, short rear deck styling, and subtle flowing lines resulted revolutionary. The most exciting and best thing about the 350Z was the cheap starting price, under $30,000 for a sports car. The 350Z became very common and one of the most popular modern classic two-door sports car ever made from the 2000s, and dramatically was a huge improvement over its predecessor in terms of reliability, performance, and quality. Essentially, the 350Z's engine was completely different, built tough and stronger than its predecessor. The 3.5-liter V6 was only available naturally aspirated in this car, and for a naturally aspirated engine, it made significant power with 287 brake horsepower and 274 pound-feet of torque sent to the rear wheels through a 6-speed manual gearbox or 5-speed automatic. Despite subsiding 13 horsepower to the 300ZX Turbo, Nissan achieved such high horsepower per liter using dual overhead camshafts and variable valve timing, which means the car will go to 0 to 60 mph in just about 5.8 seconds, and about top speed, you're looking at about 160 mph in the final gear, and revs to 7,000 RPMs. The 350Z is 170 pounds lighter than the previous car and weighs about 3,310 pounds. The 350Z was an impressive sports car as it rolled off the factory floor that shook the sports car world in the first few years when many Z fans went crazy building this car for performance under $30,000 with a strong healthy V6, tight styling, a trumpet exhaust note, and a manual stick. What makes the 350Z so special is being one of the cheapest Japanese sports cars, affordable, durable, and highly reliable, hence why it was a huge deal. From its era, the 350Z had more power than the original Monster RX-8 and the S2000 for the money, and even the same horsepower as the aging Honda NSX. Overall, the 350Z is generally one of the more reliable sports cars in the market in the past couple of decades. As far as performance cars go, the 350Z is actually rather simple. It combines solid build quality in terms of the mechanical components with a simple drivetrain, naturally aspirated engine, manual, and rear-wheel drive. Nissan had to sacrifice giving the 350Z a turbo option because in the long run, a naturally aspirated engine has the advantage of reliability, and for a longer period, you will spend less money on maintenance than a twin-turbo 300ZX. This is a good combination when it comes to ongoing reliability and fun factor. The VQ35DE engine in the 350Z was so good that it has been used in multiple cars, including its twin sibling like the Infiniti G35, the Nissan Murano SUV, Nissan Maxima, the Altima, the Pathfinder, and several more. Nissan stuffed that versatile motor in almost every product they've had over the last 20 years. Yup, it's been that popular and easily one of Nissan's greatest modern achievements ever. Now moving on about the 350Z's styling. The car looks substantially great, with awesome smooth lines, traditional rectangular grille, long hood short deck design common to the Z car family. Also sloped and fastback style arched roofline, retro rims, unique brushed aluminum door handles, and bulging fenders that are pushed out providing the aggressive look of a sports car. The 350Z's interior was refined and well equipped from its era. The 350Z came available only as a two-seater just like the original Z did and never was offered with 4 seats unlike the predecessor. The interior features a little navigation screen for the first time ever in a 350Z, with buttons to interact, regular radio buttons, and air conditioning climate control knobs down below. Above the center control stack is the triple gauges aimed towards the driver for sports car information like battery voltage, oil pressure, and the little digital screen. The analog gauge clusters are very basic with a huge tachometer in the middle for the revs, the speedometer / miles on the right, and the fuel tank on the left. One interesting thing is that those color orange gauges match the Le Mans Sunset exterior paint of the car. Same goes for the mesh comfort seats. The steering wheel has 6 square buttons for use with the Z badge in the middle. Also, there are many Z badges everywhere in this car, visible and also hidden. Overall, the 350Z has tight seats, lots of gauges, and little luxury features. So lastly, about practicality, the Z's interior does not have a glove box, but has storage located behind and between the 2 seats. The 350Z is a coupe hatchback as were all Z cars before it. The trunk space is very small, which only contains up to 6.8 cubic feet depending on its trim like the coupe or roadster version of the 350Z. The final thing about the 350Z is being front-engined, rear-wheel drive, and inexpensive. This was that kind of car to be thrown around the corners and fast for its time. The 350Z was also capable into the world of tuning, with it already being a beautiful car to use for further exterior modifications, thanks to the likes of the Fast and Furious films as the Veilside 350Z appeared in Tokyo Drift, and ever since, everyone knows and isn't scared of what a modified 350Z can really do. And it's now rare to find a car meet without spotting a 350Z Fairlady somewhere. The VQ engine was quite the bomb, and as production of the 350Z went on, the car had updates, and even engines were more powerful by 2005 when Nissan released the 35th anniversary edition. Everything about the 350Z makes it such a desirable car. In my opinion, I don't see why the 350Z wouldn't be a good first car. However, some would disagree with me that the 350Z isn't a particularly good first car because those types of cars can be unsafe for youth and inexperienced drivers and could be expensive to insure as a first car. But honestly, the 350Z isn't too expensive to maintain, and while being a sports car, the truth is that the 350Z is on a more modest and performance car maintenance. The Z won't be the most expensive to run, primarily because it is a robust, reliable car and easy to work on. The 350Z strongly has capable of daily drivability and delivers fun factor while undeniably a cool car. Now to wrap this up, if you have courage to purchase a 350Z as your first car, then strongly be sensible when you drive in the hands of long driving experience and very skilled. While doing a bit of little research, the Nissan 350Z became one of the most dangerous sports cars on the roads in America because of the nature of the car. And due to its popularity, many inexperienced drivers who have little experience behind the wheel buys a 350Z just to drive it so hard on the edge. But the 350Z really doesn't have all that much power as a first car, especially bone stock. And now, that is the end car review of the Nissan 350Z Fairlady. And I hope you guys really did sit back and relax and enjoy this video. And if you did, do not forget to smash that like button and also click the subscribe for some more upcoming videos. And I will see you next time. And as always, you are more than happy and welcome to give me any car suggestions in the comments down below. Let's virtually walk to the Nissan 350Z and get inside and put the keys into the ignition and start the engine. Make sure to adjust your headphone volume for the VQ V6 sound. Peace.